So you do that, and please share with me. Let me review your applications, your real applications now, not what you are planning to send. What you have sent, let me review it and then give you feedback. You know, it does not matter whether you are qualified for a job or not. Just go for it, and you'll be surprised that some people may just be interested in your profile. So please do that. Okay, so yeah, so having said that, this is a class where we talk about data analytics, project management, and yeah. So in the first week, we looked at writing data analytics proposal. In the second week, we continued on that. I think last week, the third week. So I wasn't on the call last week. So I need somebody to just do a rundown on what happened last week in terms of what you discussed with Octave. Then we'll go into the agenda for today. So who is going to help with that? Okay, so while we wait for who is going to take the lead on that, then also a few other comments about the projects that I gave to you. Fantastic job done by many of you guys for your first shot in writing proposal. I think you did a very good job. So it's very, I want to assure you it's key. This time yesterday, I was also defending the proposal this time yesterday, you know, and at times some of those people you defend the proposal to, some of them are more experienced than you. Some of them have been doing what you are telling them. They've been doing it for like 20 years, you know. So even before you left secondary school or before you got into secondary school, as some people will say to me, they've been doing what you are proposing to them, you know. But notwithstanding, how do you make a fantastic presentation to them? So some of you had some very good presentation. I'll just pick up one and then use that for review for this class. Then after that, then we'll talk about so after that, I'll pass the baton to you to discuss about what happened last week. Then we'll now go into the agenda for today. So I'll quickly look for some of the work you sent to me. This is from okay, so here's it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Here is someone's submission. Here's a submission on the project through this together, just to review what has been done. And here's it. Yeah, so this is so here it's a proposal for First Bank, which is what we do every day, more or less. We send proposals to some of these companies. So here it's a proposal to First Bank, and so this is like the title page for this person's proposal, and the proposal is, the title is Comparative Assessment of Bank's Mobile App, First Mobile Application Scorecard. Yeah, so here it's a proposal for First Bank. But in the title page, you can see several other banks' logo at the background. Yeah, so I think it is a little bit busy for this first page. So if you look at it, so if you look at the original one that was sent to you, in the one that was sent to you, you see Accenture in the background. That is the company that is doing the proposal. And then you also see the clients, Etisalat, in the background, which is the company that is being proposed to. So if this proposal is going to First Bank, for instance, if the proposal is going to First Bank and you're seeing Keystone and Echo Bank and Access Bank, that makes it a lot busy. So you probably think that it's not really meant for you. You with that first page, you can probably want to throw it into the trash can. So this is outline that is clearly well articulated. That is simple enough in terms of the context, the business challenge, what is the problem you want to solve, what is the proposition, what are people that make up the team, and what's the portfolio of the company. So the question is, what is Make Data Sync? What is Make Data Sync? What is it doing here? So you also need to be mindful of that. Then this is the structure, this is the introduction into the proposal, and there is still introduction into the proposal. So when you still have context, introduction, then next you have introduction, make your data sync. Well, what is the meaning of make your data sync? What's make your data sync? What exactly is it doing there? Context is also a little bit like introduction. So you cannot have context and then also have introduction there. With context is like setting the basis for your conversation. So you also don't need to go and put introduction there because it's not necessary. Then also now you now have introduction again. Then you now have make your data sync. So some of those things, they are external. So you need to think through. You actually need to think through what you are. Every word, every letter that you are typing on your proposal need to carry some kind of meaning, need to be important. It's not because maybe you want to make a 20-page proposal or 50-page proposal, then you just be dumping any kind of information, whether it is necessary or it's not necessary, just to make it rich. No, even if it's a 4-page proposal, okay, so maybe I've said this to you guys before. I had a 33-page proposal. After presenting 3 of my 33-page proposal, the person I was making that pitch to dropped 50,000 US. So today, 50,000 US is about 20 million naira. He put it on the table just for seeing 3 pages of a 33-page proposal. So it's not really about the length of the proposal, but the content must be relevant to what exactly you are trying to pitch. And when you look at the first page must carry the information. So when I see the first page of, okay, so I sent a proposal yesterday, and the title was proposal to generate a particular amount, huge amount, incremental revenue for a particular organization. Very bold statement. When the guy saw the proposal, he saw the proposal on a Tuesday, and on Wednesday by 11 a.m. on Wednesday, he saw it on Tuesday, and that same Tuesday he called for us immediately, and that we should come on Wednesday to come and defend this proposal. And that is exactly the way it works. Like you see a proposal, you see the title page. The title page must attract you to want to read more, to want to understand more, and to want to go further reading the proposal. So the title page is compelling. So when you look at this, is this compelling enough? Comparative assessment of banks' mobile application. Is it really compelling? Will it make me want to see it again? Those are some of the questions you ask yourself. The title page and then the context. The context is like the background. This is like the executive summary. Is the intro, is the background, is the executive summary, is the beginning page, so when you look at, when you read through this, does it really capture the essence of what you want to do in this particular proposal? So you need to look at that. And things like, this is not a class where we are going to be teaching English. We are not going to be teaching English in this class, but things like writing Nigeria in small letters, your punctuation, your indentation, your pagination. Nobody is going to be teaching you all of those things at this level. Nobody is going to be teaching you all of that at this level. So these are things that naturally they should now be part and parcel of you, honestly. So when you do a document for me and somebody else does the same document, similar document for me, so will I prefer to go for yours or will I prefer to go for somebody else? And most of the time, the way it is that I don't see you. You are just forwarding a material to me without me seeing you. So I'm not really seeing you, but you are sending a material to me. Is that material that you have sent to me that I will be using to evaluate you and to assess you in terms of who you are and who you are not, So if by the time you send the material to me, I just say, oh, this guy does not know what he's doing, I'll just close the document and move on to the next item on my agenda. So you have the introductory page, which should capture the essence of your then you went to the business challenge. So there is app security, user experience, poor internet connection. Yeah, so in this case, you're trying to highlight, so your proposal exactly, what exactly is the problem you are trying to solve? So the problem that challenge that we sent to you, the problem we are trying to solve, it's a little bit, it's not, so the way it is that it's more about like a marketing or a branding. It's a branding problem. So you need to understand what exactly is the problem that you want to solve for these people. And that is what you want to articulate in business challenge. So there is COVID-19. So physical interaction has been reduced, or there is need to reduce physical interaction. So a lot of banks are now like updating, or they are now beefing up their alternate channel, you understand, which makes it so instead of people coming to the banking hall to lodge complaint, now if they have any complaint they have to make, they need to go to maybe they go online on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram in order to launch their complaint. A lot of them will be using mobile application in order to generate transaction. If they have issue with the mobile app, they go to the review section and leave a review for the bank almost immediately. To leave a review for the bank almost immediately. So for these banks, we want to say, how do you compare with other banks in terms of your mobile application and in terms of the kind of reviews that you are getting? That is exactly what this particular project is about. It's meant to achieve. So in such a way that if there is something good that you think that a bank's competitor is doing, you may want to recommend it to your prospective client. If there is a particular issue that has been consistently complained about by your customer, you also table it, you also present it to this set of guys. So it's so you need to sit down and think, okay, what exactly is the problem that needs to be solved with this proposal that I'm writing? It's not just like, okay, I need to wake up and write a proposal. No, you need to be very sure, what is the problem I need to solve for this entity, and is that problem that you need to articulate on that business challenge. So in this case, it's saying unstable operating system. That has nothing to do with the bank. App security, okay, maybe it's relevant. User experience, maybe it's relevant. Poor internet connection, it's not relevant. It's not relevant to, if there's poor internet connection, it's maybe relevant, maybe not entirely within the purview of the bank to solve poor internet connection problem. So it's up to the customer to go and find a solid internet connection to do his problem, to do his transaction, you know. So so you need to think through what exactly is my solution. What exactly is the value that my solution is going to be bringing to this particular bank. So that is the way you need to think. That is the way you need to think. Then propose methodology. No, what is your value proposition? So the value proposition should be, so what value are you bringing? So in terms of when you deploy this solution or when you generate this analysis for this particular bank, what value is it going to add to the bank, you know? And so starting from comparative assessment, so a bank will be able to assess how it compares with its peers in the market. So what kind of data are you going to be presenting this customer? What kind of data are you going to be presenting? What insights can be found in the data set, and what value, what decision, what kind of business decision can be taken based on those data that you have collected. So that is the way you are going to consider. So what comes next will be the value proposition, you know, value proposition. It is not proposed methodology. It's not how we are going to do it that comes first. It's the value that this is going to add to us. Because most times when you go to an organization, you tell them, "Oh, I want to offer you analytics services." The first thing they will tell you, we already have some people that is doing that. Even federal government, it will surprise you. Even if you go to federal government, a federal government parastatal, I want to offer you this analytics service. They say, we already have a department that is in charge of analytics. That is what you hear. You already have some people that are in charge of analytics. Anywhere, go to any bank. So they are not just waking up to analytics. They are not just waking up to social media analytics. Even before you are writing this proposal, some people have gone to them. Some people have gone to them before you. You understand? So what exactly is your value proposition? What are you bringing differently? What are you bringing to the table that is different? You need to think. So what this does for you is that it helps you to think. It helps you to think. That is exactly what this does for you. Then the architecture. I don't know where you got this architecture from. I don't know where you got this from. Project team, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so all of this is just, you just need to add some things in order to submit it. But again, this is not the university where you need to write an exam and then they will score you mark and you need to hurriedly get it done. No, so this time around you need to be self-driven. You understand? You need to take your time to think through, to also reference other materials. You need to read through other materials. Go and look for similar proposals online. Go and look for similar pitch decks online. And take from that. It's not just okay. Let me quickly get something done. Deadline. Some people started this. Maybe the deadline was maybe 14th of June or something, or maybe I gave a 2 weeks deadline. Some people maybe started a day before the deadline and you saw it, so they were just rushing to get it done. So this is not, when you work in a corporate environment, it's no longer that time that I need to quickly get it done. No. It's not that. It's not I need to quickly get it done. No. It is a time that you need to sit down and thoroughly think through a challenge that needs to be a challenge that needs to be solved, and you propose solutions to those challenges, and then you articulate how. So a methodology is how that problem is going to be solved. Okay, I'll need to collect data from different mobile app stores. Then I need to aggregate them together. Then on top of that aggregation, then I need to generate insights. Then from the tests, I need to do maybe test mining. I need to use test mining in order to review some of the comments and the ratings and sentiments about about the mobile app. Then in terms of look and feel, yeah, so that one is more or less going to be manual. There's no like automated solution that be reviewing the look and feel of a particular mobile app. It's more or less like it's like a manual stuff. So you need to download the app, then you have a set of reviewers that are reviewing the look and feel, and then they are passing comments about the mobile application. It's just as simple as that, So projecting, where do you get projecting for? You don't need 8 people for this kind of a project. You don't need 8 people for this kind of a project. You don't need 10 people for this kind of a project. So it means that you are not really thinking thoroughly. What you are trying to do is you just want to quickly get it done. And then the arrangement, now I'm seeing our value proposition, scope of work. So the arrangement. So think through all of this that I've said, and then review your presentation. But if I would score this, I would score this 3 all over 10. That's how I would score this. Okay, so thank you very much. So this is my review. I'm just going to review one, and if you are lucky that it's yours I'm reviewing, then it's fine. Okay, so now over to you. I need someone to quickly give an overview of what Octave taught last week. Thank you. Then you can also ask me questions on this.
To give an overview of what Octave taught last week, she talked about analytics project management, and she briefed us through what it really entails, talking about difference between analysis and analytics, saying the analysis is basically going through descriptive, what data you have in the past and just looking through data to find patterns and trends. But that analysis is needed for analytics. So analytics takes the step further and is more encompassing. So from there, she talked about statistical significance and business importance. So something that for us, majorly for data analysts, when we carry out look at our data, that we want to take note of statistical significance, based on how large our data is also, that if you have a statistical difference, you have a significant statistical difference and the data is not much, you might not want to really look at it. But if you have a very large data set, which is always the case these days due to big data, and you have, even if it's a small statistical difference, you have to look into it, towards it, and then you have to consider the business importance. For some business, you have statistical difference, but it's not really a big deal because of the kind of decision that's going to be made. But if even if it's just a little statistical difference and the decision to take is very weighty, you might want to consider looking at data again to find if there's more about it. She talked about sample size and population size. Said that we really don't need for analysis, and we really don't need to use our population size most times, except in few scenarios where maybe we have to find a top list. So we have to find a top list, then we might need to go through all the population data. But most times we have to just use a sample data, depending on what you have to look for, and depending on the kind of thing that actually trying an analysis. You have the way a marketing team will take sample size is different from the way a product team will take a sample size. It's also different from the way a branding team will take sample size. So depending on the team you are working with. Then she also talked about picking your analytics team, those that are needed in the analytics departments, depending on which department you are working with, or if it's an analytics team or you are working in conjunction with another department. After that, then I think that's basically it. Then she gave us assignments also, which was to generate a business case and solutions. I think that's it. I'm done. Hello.
Sorry, I was muted. So I was muted. So I was trying to. So what I was saying before, yeah, okay. So Sunday Ogunleye, your comments, please.
No, actually, I have a question, sir.
Okay, please go on.
Okay, I just want to understand the aspect of use case properly. Now, maybe on a project proposal, I want to attach a use case. Must it be similar to the maybe this proposal I'm writing now? The use case I'm going to be giving, must it be the same, like something related to this proposal I want to submit? That's number one, sir.
Okay, so number one, so use case, must it be relevant to your proposal? Is that the question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, now your use case must be relevant to your proposal now. So let's say real life project now. So let's say a company in Abuja under World Health Organization want to do data collection, for instance. World Health Organization wants to do data collection, you know. So the question is that what could be some of the use cases? Could the use case be the geocoordinates of ATM locations in Nigeria, or could the use case be the geocoordinates of COVID-19 isolation centers in Nigeria? So which of the two will be relevant to which of the two will be relevant to a World Health Organization? It's not going to be the geocoordinate of ATM locations. So for a project, so if you have an analytics project for, say, Zenith Bank, for instance, what are the use cases? So there may be 2 or 3 use cases. One of the use cases could be, okay, reducing the cost or reducing the number of customers that some of the use cases could be the conversion of over-the-counter customers to alternate channel using customers. That could be what the use case will be. Sure, you understand? So your use case must be relevant, must always be relevant. It cannot be just something from out of the blues that you adopt as a use case. And also, in many cases, you can also determine that use case by yourself. You need to determine that use case together with the prospective client.
Thank you, sir.
No, next.
Hello, yeah, this is Hubert.
Okay, Hubert.
Yeah, I want to further on the question with the use cases, because I also wasn't so clear on it. Even my project that I put together, I thought use cases was us trying to find where we compare the project that the proposal that we're giving out to this particular bank, showing that this other bank has used this particular method before, and they actually got good results from it. So now what you're saying is that after our proposal, we're going to be giving them different sections or operations in the bank. In this particular case, different operations in the bank where they can apply our particular proposal, and it could actually improve on their operations. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not clear with your question.
I'm trying to understand clearly, because I'm still, even with what you explained, I'm still confused on the explanation for the used cases. Like I said, my own assignment, I was thinking, my previous knowledge was that I thought we were comparing the impact of this particular proposal or whatever kind of proposal that we're giving to the bank. That some other banks have used this particular method before, and they got social results. But with what you're saying now is that the proposal that we're giving to them, we're going to show them different sections in their operations where they can apply this and see results.
Okay, so the two that you painted also means that you did not really get it. So okay. let me explain it again. So let me explain it again. So the question is that what are people saying about me? One simple question. I'm a brand. My name is GT Bank. What exactly are people saying about me? So the easiest, so there are two ways you can do that. One way you can do that is to go and deploy a survey, and maybe you take paper and biro, and then you are going to the market. Okay, you are asking people, do you use GT Bank? What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Do you use mobile app? That is one way of collecting that kind of information. So what are people saying? So the question is, what are people saying about me relative to what they are saying about my competitors? Sure, you understand? So that is the kind of problem that is presented here. What are people saying about me relative to what they are saying about my other competitors? So one way would be the manual way of deploying paper way. The other way is that, okay, people have been saying these things on social media platform. They've been saying it within the mobile app applications that are available for these different banks. Now, coupled with the fact that there's COVID-19, so a lot of these banks are now channeling their transactions through these alternate channels. They are routing their transaction. They want customers to go and use their mobile app and the rest like that. So the question is that, what are people saying about this mobile app in comparison to what they are saying about other banks' mobile app? That is the question. That is the simple problem we are trying to solve. I don't know, maybe that is clear to you. So, and the easiest way you can go through that is go to the review session, take an app, take like a First Bank mobile app and a GT Bank mobile app, then look at it comparatively. How many people have downloaded GT Bank mobile app as against how many people have downloaded First Bank mobile app? How many people have commented in GT Bank session as against First Bank's mobile app session? Then from those review, what is the rating of those review? Maybe 4.1 for GT Bank, maybe 4.7 for First Bank. Then from the sentiment, from what they have written in those reviews, is the sentiment a positive sentiment or the sentiment is a negative sentiment? All of that. So how do you articulate? So at the end of the day, what will that come up with will be, okay, there's a recommendation. We have gone to review your mobile app and we have reviewed all the sentiments on that mobile app and the number of people that have downloaded it. And this is how it is compared to how it is for this your competitor. So these are the things I think we think you need to improve on as against what your competitor is currently doing. So that is like a recommendation that is going to improve the processes of a prospective client. So how do you articulate all of this in a proposal and present to a client?
Okay, sir.
I'm with you.
Thank you. I'm sorry I'm asking too many questions on this. Would you mind me sharing my work on this particular one, where I conducted my own, what I thought was it, please? I would like for you to give a review on it, on that particular page.
Please, let's do it.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so this is mine. I worked with UBA Bank, but I'll just go straight to my analysis page. So on this particular page, I conducted using Zenith Bank and this thing.
Okay, good. Yes, good. Okay.
I conducted using Access Bank, Zenith Bank, and UBA Bank. So
hold on, Hubert. So you're already solving the problem. Sure, you understand. So this is already solving the problem. Sure, you understand. So the challenge is not asking you to go and solve the problem yet. So more or less, this is like, okay, after you have sent a proposal to them that you want to do this for them, then after they have accepted your proposal, they agree with you, okay, this is how much they are going to pay you. Then after they have agreed with you, this is how much they are going to pay you, then you will now go and deploy this for them. Sure, you understand. So this is not that part. This class or the training on writing proposal, it's not about the implementation. What you have gone to do is implementation. So this is not the implementation. It's how do you articulate, okay, Oga, I want to solve this problem for you. And I want to solve this problem for you for a particular price. That is that is the question. It's not asking you to solve the problem. So you have gone to solve the problem. You know, if you do this for everybody, if they don't pay you, at the end of the day, you'll be broke at some point because you are doing a problem that people have not paid for, people have not even entered into contract with you for. So this is not, yeah, so before you even get to this point at all, this is probably the implementation point after they have signed contract with you and onboarded you. But, you know, before that, how do you convince them that you have this solution for them? That is the challenge. That is the problem, or that is the challenge presented to you.
So how do you carry out the cases without comparing, and how do you show them the comparison that you conducted without showing them these statistics?
No, you don't get. Maybe you need to talk to somebody else to explain this. So this is the last time I will explain it. You are not solving the problem yet. I want to solve this problem for you. It's different from, okay, I have solved this problem, here is the solution. When you are writing a proposal, it is like presenting to someone, okay, I have an idea that can solve this problem for you. So you are not going to be presenting them with those statistics. It is not at this point you present the statistics yet. So the challenge that we give to you is to write a proposal. We are not telling you to go and solve the problem and go and collect the data. No, what we are telling you is that to do a proposal to convince a bank, to tell a bank that, okay, you can conduct like a comparison of how their mobile banking application is rated compared to how other mobile banking application is rated, so that it can help them to generate sentiment. It's purely called a sentiment analysis problem. So it's a proposal on sentiment analysis. Write a proposal on sentiment analysis. How does your mobile application, how does it compare with your closest rival or your competitor's mobile application? And for this project, this is the value that is going to add to you. This is what my approach is going to be. This is what the value proposition is. This is what my approach is going to be. This is how much people that it will need me to get it done. And this is how much it is going to cost me, the commercial term. This is how much it's going to cost you to sign me up to do this for you. So it's until after you and that potential client have agreed on that, it's until then that you now go into that implementation. It's until then you can now start presenting the results that you have there. Okay, so I hope that is clear. If it's not clear, I believe it's going to be clear to you later on. But it's not the analysis itself. Okay, so let's go to something else. We've spent some time on that, and I hope that is very clear. You can also challenge yourself a little bit on that. So assume that, okay, you want to solve it. You can also do like a proposal, maybe some small business in your area. Just tell them, okay, I want to do some, can I even do some analysis for you? Send them a proposal and then see if they would hear their review and their comments about your proposals. Okay, so today we are looking at more or less like a continuation of some of those things. The project management, we are still talking about project management, and if you recall, there are 3 key aspects of project management. Yeah, so I'll call someone. That is one basic question I normally ask almost every time in this class. So I did Toro. Can you tell us those 3 key aspects of project management? Is Adetoro on the call?
Yes, I am. The 3 aspects. The 3 aspects of projects. What? I didn't get that one.
Project management. The 3 aspects of project management. The components of project management.
Okay. The scope, the budget, and the schedule.
Say that again.
The scope, the budget, and the schedule.
Okay, correct. So let's talk about data analytics, schedule management. Yeah, so let's talk about some of the critical stages that a data analytics project will have to go through. Yes, so I will start with this. Yeah, I'll start with this, or maybe I'll start with this. Yeah. Yeah, so let's talk about schedule management. So there is a scope, there is a budget, and there is the schedule management. So more or less, the scope entails what needs to be done. What needs to be done. The schedule is how long it will be done, and the budget is how much will it cost to get it done. It's just as simple as that. So more or less, when you go for a project management training, so they just break those three components, they break them down into maybe sub-component, but essentially everything you are going to be doing under project management in terms of stakeholders management, requirement elicitation, scope, there is scope management, there is scope assessment, and so on and so forth. Everything revolves around those three key components: the cost, how much, how long, and what. What do you need to do? How long will it take you to do it? And how much will it cost you to get it done? So generally for us also in Octave Analytics, when we have a project to do, we have like a generic approach for managing the scope of it, for managing the schedule of a project. So today we are going to be looking at schedule management. Schedule management in terms of how long it takes to manage a project. So it now depends on what kind of a project it is. Yeah, it depends on what kind of a project it is. So in some cases, there are some projects that are how do I call them? There are some projects that are managed service. Yeah, so managed services in terms of okay, just render these analytics services for me over a particular period of time, and then so it's like do analytics for me for maybe 1 year, support me in terms of analytics for a 1 year period, and that's the end of it, you know. Or it could be okay, support me as long as you can always support me. It could be that. Then in some cases it could be a project that has a beginning and that has an ending. So where you have a situation where you have a project that has a start and has an end date, so how do you proceed with how do you proceed with such a project, you know? So if it has a beginning and an end date, the management of that project, it should be done in a way that you don't encroach into the management of that project should be done in a way that you don't encroach, that the project does not extend beyond the time that's allocated for it. So you as the project manager or as a member of the project team need to be able to clearly articulate what you need to do within the time frame, within the period that is allocated for that project. So if a project is supposed to take a period of 6 months, what are you going to be doing in month 1? What are you going to do in month 2? What are you going to do in month 3? What are you going to do in month 4? What are you going to do in month 5? And what are you going to be doing in month 6? So you need to be able to clearly articulate all of that. And when you articulate all of that, what comes out of that is now a
Can you guys hear anything? I can't hear anything.
I'm with you. I'm receiving the call. Just hold on. I'll come back to you. Okay, so yeah, I'm back. So I was talking about project plan. So if the project has a beginning date and an ending date, then it's very important that the project manager clearly articulates what needs to be done for every day for all of the days. So that is like maybe 180 days. What are the things that needs to be done for those days, and whose responsibility is it to get those done? What are the critical parts? So critical part means that if this is not done, then every other thing will not be done. So for instance, so think about it. There's a data analytics project management job that needs to be done, where servers need to be installed. So you've been talking about big data, you've been talking about Hadoop infrastructure. So maybe this particular project is going to be leveraging a Hadoop architecture, which needs to be installed, we need to be set up on a server. And if it is not set up on the server, then the data cannot be loaded on that server. If the data is not loaded on that server, then analysis cannot be done on the data. So that makes installation of Hadoop a critical part. It makes the installation of Hadoop a critical part. So the question is that when, so for project schedule management, or for analytics project schedule management, what it tries to identify is that what are the different tasks for that project that need to be completed? When should they be completed, and whose responsibility are they for completing those projects? Are there dependencies? There are cases where there are dependency. You cannot load data. Without, for instance, you can, please, if you cannot hear me, let me know if you cannot hear me. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you. You cannot load data, for instance. You cannot load data without installing like a data warehouse. You cannot load data without installing data. So when is the data warehouse? When is it going to be installed? Who is going to install it? And so on and so forth. So essentially, that is exactly what to look at when you are deploying analytics projects. So again, I always present you with examples. So I'll give you one example, then I'll look for another example again and share with you before the end of this class. So look at this example. So this example is to build a model, is to build a dormancy prediction model. It is a little bit similar to the task that I gave to you. So maybe comparative assessment of mobile banking applications or mobile banking apps of different banks, as that guy has articulated it. So it's a project that may also not be a perpetual project. It's not a project that will be executed in perpetuity. It's a project that would probably, in some cases, have a beginning date and an ending date. So in this particular case, this project is a 10 weeks project. It has a beginning date, it has an ending date. So what are the tasks that need to be completed? There is data exploration. So we need to explore the data. So in this case, the data already exists. The data already exists in some people's data warehouse somewhere. So first thing to do is data exploration. Then the next is data integration. Then the third part is feature engineering and modeling. Number 4 is evaluation of the model that is built, and number 5 is deployment. After deployment, then it's probably going to take like a 6 weeks period to run like a campaign. So what this is doing is that this is articulating, okay, for this particular project, this project will take us at least 10 weeks to deploy. After we deploy the project for 10 weeks, then you can execute your campaign for a period of 6 weeks. That is what So this is like a mini. It's like a mini project. It's a mini project plan. Project plans are usually more extensive than this. So you can now see there's now timeline. So first of all, data request. Octave Analytics will spend the first week to request for data. Then within that same first week, once it gains access to that data, then it will prepare the data or profile the data, what is called preliminary data quality assessment. Then the next step is to set up what is called analytics data warehouse and building and maintaining the analytics data warehouse. That is almost going to happen throughout the lifetime of the project. So it's going to continuously be happening. It's not just going to be like a one-off task. And so the data exploration aspect of this project can take up to like 7 weeks. You can see it clearly articulated that this is how long it will take me to complete this task. Now you can imagine when somebody is doing the project plan, it simply means that the person knows almost everything that needs to be done about that project. When it has to be done, who has to do them, So a project manager, it's thorough, and it's well grounded, knows a lot about the project. So you can imagine who project managers or who a project manager should be. You can imagine who a project manager should be. Then the other stage is the integration and segmentation. In a nutshell, what this is trying to articulate is the different stages this project, or the different tasks that have to be completed for this project. When it has to be completed, what is probably not here is whose responsibility they are. So if you do this on an Excel sheet, for instance, on an Excel sheet, you'll be able to identify whose responsibility they are, and so on and so forth. But really, this is like a project plan. And then I will show you another project plan that is showing the time schedule. Project plan. Yeah. Just a minute. Project plan. Dates. Yes. Okay, so yes. Okay, so yes, I hope. Can you see my screen again? Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so you can see this. Yeah, thank you for muting your microphone. So this is another project plan. So this is a document that we use to simply manage the time required to execute a project. So if this is a project that has a beginning time and an ending time, so in this case, you have different aspects. You have project initiation, environment setup, data governance aspect of the project. Then you have the data analytics store, setup for analytics data store, and so on, data cleansing for some stuff. So you have different aspects. So you can see different aspects of the project. Some of them are painted red, means that they are painted. And then at the final stage, you see finalize. So finalize project documents and hand over the project. So you can see many of these aspects, they are painted red, means that they are pending. We've not even gotten to those points yet. Then you have some parts that are painted green. So the parts that are painted green means that they've been completed, it's already done. The parts that are painted yellow means that they are ongoing. So when you look at this, so this has like responsibility. Whose responsibility is this aspect of the project? You can see there's someone responsible for it. There's a start date. So for this particular task, there's a time it should start, there's a start date, there's an expected end date. So there's a time we expect that it's going to end. But in many cases, of course, it does not end that way. So look at today now. So maybe today is supposed to be like a public holiday, and perhaps it was not considered at the time that you are designing the project plan. So maybe something that you thought was going to end on the 30th of July may extend to maybe 3rd of August. So you can see this is the expected end date, but this is the actual end date for those parts that have been completed. So you can see the ones that are painted green, they actually have a completed end date. The one that is pending and the one that is ongoing, they don't have an end date yet, even despite the fact that there is an expected end date for them. And this is the actual end date. And this is the status. There's a status that's showing where exactly we are, whether it is completed or ongoing and the rest. And there is remarks. So this is a document that we create to manage schedule for a project. You create this document to manage schedule for a project, and it's very, very important. So what this means to the client is these guys knows what they are doing. So this will help you to manage the project properly in terms of tracking where you are at any particular point in time, if you're having any challenges. So like for instance, now this is supposed to end on this 21st of February, but you can see that it's still pending. And why is it pending? There's a remark here why that is pending. So maybe 4 laptops were meant to be provided. Maybe 4 laptops were meant to be provided and only 3 laptops were provided. Here, and then there's a comment that's showing why it is still pending. So really, this is schedule management in a nutshell. This is schedule management at your own level. It starts with what are the different tasks that need to be completed for you to say that a project is completed. So if you look at the project that we reviewed again, if you look at the project that we reviewed early before we got to this point, so if that project is awarded to you, assuming you are the vendor, the project is awarded to you. If the project is awarded to you, so there's a project initiation stage. That is where you write you do your pitch, you submit your technical proposal, you submit your commercial proposal, you provide and you review scope of work with your clients, then you sign a contract with your clients, then you conduct kickoff meeting with your client, then you sign NDA, you do all of those preliminary work that needs to be done. That is still under the project initiation stage. So once you have already signed contract, then you need to set up the environment. So if you want to be collecting this data, if you want to implement this solution for the client, is it going to be on-premise or is it going to be in the cloud? That depends on what you have in the scope of work. We are going to be talking about scope management later on. So is it going to be on-premise or is it going to be in the cloud? If it's going to be in the cloud, you just need to buy infrastructure in the cloud. If it's going to be on-premise, that means you need to go and buy physical servers in order to use to set that up. Then once you buy the server or it's going to be in the cloud, you set up the environment. That may have to do with installing operating system, installing software that you need. Do you need Power BI? Do you need Tableau? Do you need ThinkCell? Do you need database application like Oracle or SQL Server? Whatever you need, you do all of those installations. So you can imagine a project manager would need to know every aspect of the project, everything that needs to be done. So a project manager manager is an all-rounder, is a generalist. He's not just a visualization expert that knows, okay, this is how visualization needs to be done. No, the project manager will need to know visualization needs to be done, and this is when it has to be done. And when it is not done, it follows up with the person that needs to do that visualization. When there is a network access, maybe we could not have access to the data somewhere, the network is down. The project manager will know that, okay, the problem is network access issue, and will know the right resource he has to go and meet in order to make sure that the cable is connected to the network, you know, and so on and so forth. So all of that are the different. So all the tasks that need to be completed, all the tasks clearly highlighted, whose responsibility they are. So in this case, this is saying Octave Analytics or maybe the client. But in some cases, you may even need to put specific people's name. You know, you may need to say Blessing, Hubert, Adetoro, Sunday, Tamuno. You need to put specific people's name rather than saying generic, maybe e-transact or Central Bank or Access Bank or Octave Analytics. You put specific people's name. When is the start date? When is the end date? Expected end date. But then when was the actual date it ended? You know, that one too matters. Then what is the status? Then you need to be tracking this. This is a working document. It's a working document that you need to be tracking every day. So you don't track it. You don't compile this schedule, and then you just go up. You track it every day. Okay, has this been done? If it's been done, you change the status from pending to ongoing, from ongoing to completed, or from that to overdue. You know, you keep changing the status depending on what the case is. Then if there are comments, you put comment. There are cases where some things need to be done and they are not done, so you add comments in the comment section, so that then you share this with stakeholders so that they can know exactly where the project status is. As a project manager too, in order to be able to communicate this, you might need to also have a lot of meetings with your clients. You know, if a project is stalled, like in this case now, you need four laptops, 3 laptops were provided. It means that out of 4 people that should be working on the project, it's only 3 people that are working. So what do you do? In that case, what you need to do is that you probably will need to call for a meeting so that you can resolve this. There are some cases, maybe some things are not clear. You can call for a meeting. We met with Peter and Simeon and the rest of the team and blah, blah, blah. So in some cases too, even though you already have that plan, the plan can change. So it's a plan. You can change. You can plan to have meeting in a day and the meeting will not hold on that day. You can plan that something is going to happen in a particular day and it does not happen in that day. But you need to keep reviewing and keep on going until the project is completed. So ladies and gentlemen, in a nutshell, that is project schedule management, analytics project schedule management. Some of those key things that needs to be done in general perspective: the project initiation, which has to do with writing your proposal, submitting your technical and your commercial proposal, then signing off a contract with your client, then signing non-disclosure agreement. Then the next part that you need to do is to set up the environment for your project. You know, set up the environment will have to do with installing software, installing the hardware, having access to the database, having access to the data, doing gap analysis, and so on and so forth. Then there is a data governance aspect of the project where you have to do a lot of documentation. In this aspect, you have to do a whole lot of documentation for the project. Then depending on the use cases, depending on the use cases. So in this case, somebody raised some question around use cases. So depending on the use cases will now determine the other tasks that need to be completed for the project. And that is it in a nutshell. Thank you very much, everyone. So I'm going to be here for you to ask your questions if you have any questions on schedule management for analytics projects management. If you have any question, please feel free to ask me. If you don't have any question, then in 7 minutes, I will jump out of the class.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for the class, sir. I want to know, maybe after submitting your proposal and you give them the schedule and everything, and they reply back by giving you their own schedule that, okay, we have this also amount of time that we can give to you, and you how can you actually adjust your own schedule in order to fit in for their own schedule, sir?
Okay, so thank you. So that normally happens too. I have a project that I told the client that this project, I want to finish this project in 1 year. Client said, no, it's not possible. It's not possible. We don't have that time. We cannot wait till 1 year. We want this project next month, or in fact 6 months. We give you 6 months for this project. You know. So we have clients like that that will tell you that this is the time they have for the project. So remember, there are 3 elements that come into play. There is time, there is cost, and there is budget. Sure, you understand? So if something that needs to be done in 1 year, if you want that thing to be done in 6 months, yes, maybe there is a way. You can add more money to it. So if you throw more money to it, so maybe ordinarily you want 4 people to go and work on that project. You want 4 people to go and work on that project. You can add, you want 4 people, you can add additional 4 people on the project, making it 8 people. So you understand? So that instead of the project to take 6 months, instead of the project to take 1 year, it's just going to take 6 months. So in 3 variables you need to adjust. Number 1 is the scope, number 2 is the time, and number 3 is the budget. So in a case whereby a project that needs to be done in a time needs to be adjusted to another time, you always need to agree with your clients. You need to agree with your customer as far when it has to be done. So you will now need to assess as a project manager, with the resources I have, with the money that these people are paying, can I get it done within this short period of time? If the answer is no, then you might need to go and get approval for some more resources. So I don't have a problem to deliver the project in 1 month. So if I deliver it in 1 month, then you will have to, if I deliver it in 1 month, then that means instead of one person to do a job for 6 months, then let 6 people do the job for 1 month. You understand? But you just need to strike a balance with your clients.
Thank you, sir.
No, does that answer your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. More question, please. Okay, so thank you very much for not having any question. So the next thing I will ask is, it's a project plan. I want to ask for a project plan for the, so where is it again? So for this project, that we discussed earlier, so for this project, I need a, yes, I am. So for this project, I need a project. So I need you guys, so based on the feedback I have given, I need you to go and look at this stuff again. But as part of this, so I need a project plan for this that clearly articulates the different steps that you have to follow in order to deliver this project. So what are the different tasks that has to be completed? So if you are doing it for First Bank, for instance, if you are sending this proposal to First Bank, so what are the different steps that has to be completed in terms of what are the different tasks that has to be completed in order to be able to deliver this project? Then whose responsibility is it? Is it your own responsibility or is it the client's responsibility? You need to identify it. When are you going to start? So assuming that we are starting on the 1st of August, assuming we are starting on the 1st of August, what are you going to do in day 1, day 2? So you're also going to estimate how long is the project going to take. So I need your own estimate. I'm not giving you any estimate of how long the project is going to take. So you estimate how long the project is going to take, what are the different tasks that need to be completed, what are the responsibility, when is each task expected to start, and when is the task expected to end. Just highlight all of that and put it in form of and present it in form of a Gantt chart. Yeah, present it in form of a Gantt chart. So you need to Google Gantt chart. So present it in form of a Gantt chart. I've already showed you a Gantt chart today, very simple Gantt chart. So present it in form of a Gantt chart. There's a Microsoft tool. There's Microsoft projects. Microsoft has a project for creating Gantt charts. It's called Microsoft Project. If you have it, you can use it. If you don't have it, there are Excel templates. There are Excel templates for Gantt charts that you can use to get it done. But just identify the tasks that need to be done, whose responsibility is it, the start date, the end date, and then present it in form of a Gantt chart, and then send to me. How long do you want me to give for that? How long do you think you can get it done? How long? Okay, maybe I give you 3 weeks. So you're also doing a lot of other things. So I'm giving 3 weeks. I'm giving 3 weeks for that. But please, don't send to me at the nick of the time. Don't send to me a day before. I'm even hoping maybe next week I'm also going to be on the call next week to continue this class with you. So please don't send to me at the nick of the time. But for this, what it really means, if you are doing data analytics, I want to encourage you. If you are doing data analytics, you cannot be scattered. Your mind cannot be divided. Your mind cannot be divided. You cannot be scattered. You just need to pay attention, and you need to you need to put the whole of yourself into it. So imagine somebody that is going to be designing a project plan. That means you need to really think through what are every aspect of the project that I need to do. Imagine someone that is writing a proposal. You need to understand the problem and understand it very, very well, which means that you need to do a lot of research on the problem. So it's not just when a customer comes. So me, I'm the customer now. I have given you a challenge. It is not just you just take my challenge and then you just go and start doing a proposal on it. No, you need to sit down and research on the problem, and then after researching on the problem, then you design, you articulate the problem, your value proposition, your approach and everything, and then you now also proceed to the schedule. Okay, if this project is going to take 6 months or 2 months or 3 months, what are the different aspects of it that needs to be done, and you present that to me in a Gantt chart. So please, you need to take some time out to think about the projects that I give to you, and then make sure that you are doing it very well. It's going to make you an excellent data scientist. Thank you very much, and do have a great day. I'm still around in case you have any. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, go on, please.
Okay. Yeah, sorry to cut you short. I thought you were running out swiftly. So I just want to get something. If I get your assignments properly, are we supposed to review the previous proposal and redo it based on, or it's just the project plan we are going to do for this?
So if your proposal is not well done, based on the feedback I have given, just make sure you do it well. If your proposal is not well done, based on the feedback I've given, I just gave only one person a feedback, and I know that feedback applies to a lot of people here. So look at, review your project. That is the one I gave before. Then, yeah, I think I even have 3 projects. I have another one that should be submitted at the end of this month. Then this particular one, you also need to do like a project plan. For that first project I gave to you, do a schedule, make a schedule in form of a Gantt chart, present it. You can use Excel sheet to make a Gantt chart. Gantt chart is Gantt chart is something like this. Yeah, Gantt chart is something like this. So do a Gantt chart, and then and then send to me in 3 weeks' time, alongside with the review, the revised proposal that you sent to me. Even with all the experience that we have, we send proposal to clients and they get back. In fact, I and a client sometime last year, we had back and forth about how many times for like 3 months from September to November. We're having back and forth on a particular, okay, add this to it, remove this from it, okay, you did not include use cases, okay, you did not include case study, okay, remove this from it, I don't want my bosses to see this, you know. We had back and forth until we eventually agreed on something. So there'll definitely be back and forth. So don't expect that maybe when you send a proposal to a client, you will just take it like that and then just take it hook like that. In fact, yesterday, I presented a proposal yesterday, and the guy gave me some feedback on things that need to be included in the proposal. So if I'm also giving you this feedback, prepare your mind, open your mind to accept that, you know, and go and review some of those proposals that you sent to me. Is that clear?
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. I have to go.
All right.
See you later at 1 o'clock. Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, bye.